Charlie Smyth here with talkSPORT. How are you, mate? And how's things with the New Orleans Saints?
Yeah, things are pretty good now. It's a great place here just to be in this facility and get to call it your work, I suppose. And yeah, I mean things are pretty good now, and I'm pretty happy with how things are going. Obviously, we would like to have more wins under our belt right now, but I mean, there's been some change recently, so hopefully we can pick up the results now. But it's been a pleasure now to be involved with the team, I guess, with the history that it has, and yeah, I mean, I'm loving it so far now.
Well, look, we'll talk about you in a second, but I mean, you touched on it there. It's been quite a dramatic week for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it must be a bit strange, I suppose, but at the same time, your special teams coordinator now, the interim head coach as well. Just talk a bit about Darren Rizzi and how he's been with you.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Rizzi is the main reason why I'm here. He's been renowned as one of the best special teams coaches in the league, and if not the best, and that was a big the factor in making my decision to come here, and getting to work with Riz this past 6 months has just been a pleasure, and he really is an unbelievable coach, and he keeps things light in meetings, keeps you engaged and interested. He's seriously funny, but at the same time he has got such high expectations because I've been on the sidelines, and I've been on the end of the other side, and he's just got the same expectations for everybody, and he treats everybody the same. So I do believe that the energy around the place has been unbelievable this week, and hopefully that keeps going now.
He's kind of a different sort of presence to DA as well, Denis Allen. I get the impression that he brings the intensity.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Riz is just really he just says it how it is, and he's just very straight talking, and I mean maybe that's what we need now, because we've had a lot of losses, and Riz is mentioned accountability, and everybody needs to be more accountable, and everybody in the building included. So it's just hoping we can just pick up the results now. And I mean, yeah, Riz, as I said, he's such a character, and he's seriously funny, and we get some laughs out of him in the meetings, so.
Do you think that's going to sort of change the atmosphere then amongst the locker room then?
Yeah, well, I think there has been a bit of a a mood lift now this week. Not to say things weren't good before. It's just sometimes change can just change whenever it's change happens. Sometimes it just elevates everybody's performance, and that's hopefully we can do that now this weekend and going forward. But at the same time, I'm hugely grateful to Coach Allen as well, because at the end of the day, he was the one that signed off on me coming here, and I can only say good things about Coach Allen, and wish him well in the future and stuff. But obviously, yeah, it's just, I suppose sometimes change is a good thing, but we'll soon find out, But I mean, at the end of the day, I just come in here and like to do my own thing, like to keep my head down, and just keep working on improving, and that's what I've been doing this past 10 weeks or so.
Well, you mentioned that you've been keeping your head down, and what's that integration for you been like in the Saints locker room? Because I bet let's be honest, it's probably very different to what you're used to in Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, the word we use, the crack's just different. It's like a different time, but at the same time, it's like it's a very unique experience, and we've got the D line beside us here. They're the loudest bunch, and they just have their music blasting all the time, and you just have to just appreciate it. But at the same time, everybody's been really friendly and welcoming, and I feel like maybe because I've got a different accent or something, maybe that helps me at times. But at the same time, a lot of the time you find yourself repeating yourself, but that's just the way it is. I talk very fast, but I think I've gotten better now over the past 6 weeks of that now.
Who's got the best Irish accent in the Saints locker room? Because you can't pretend that they haven't been trying to do it.
I mean, yeah, I'll leave that. I'll say no comment because they're all pretty terrible now, to be honest, I have to say. But yeah, I mean, that does happen quite often now, but that's pretty funny now.
Yeah. I mean, from your perspective then, because obviously this is a completely different environment for you. It's a completely different sport for you as well. You're there in the international pathway program place, right? So you've got a guaranteed position for this season. Did you give yourself objective for this season at all, or is it just seeing how you can grow?
Yeah, well, obviously, being where I am right now, it's obviously not where I want to be. But I understand that I've only been playing this sport, essentially 13, 14 months now, and really been a part of a team for 6 or 7 months. So I'm extremely grateful to have that, to be able to sit on the practice squad right now and just really focus on the technical side of things. Obviously, there's only so much you can replicate in terms of like what if it was a game, you know, like in terms of the mental side of it. But I can really just hone in on my technical skills, and I feel like I've got the mindset anyways that, you know, if I was thrown in the game I'd be ready. But in terms of just becoming, you know, more consistent and just really trying to, you know, make my craft even better, and, you know, make sure that I'm making more kicks. And I feel like, you know, since from April to now, I'm like, a bad day used to be a good day at the start, you know, but now like it's just trying to stack good day after good day and just keep making as many kicks as possible, really.
What's a good day then for you?
Well, a good day is, you know, above 90%, like, and, you know, I feel like I've been doing that, you know, recently. You know, a good day you might get, you know, 30 kicks and you're looking to get, you know, hit, you know, 26, 27 at least now, you know, so that's, you know, if I dip below that I would be pretty disappointed, like. So, and at the same time you really, you know, I know the flashy kicks are, you know, the 60 pluses, but really I've been focusing on, you know, the 39 yarders, the 26 yarders, you know, the extra points. You know, I had a few missed extra points in OTAs, which are 33 yards, like, and I've really honed in on them. I'm just, you know, just constantly just trying to make every kick, and you know, as I said, not getting too focused on the bigger kicks, which I know I can do, you know. So it's just really about 15 in, can you be 100%? You know, that's the challenge every day whenever I go in there and kick. So that's really it, I suppose.
Can you just talk a little bit about the city of New Orleans then? Because, you know, I was lucky enough to live here for a year, but it's very different to what I was used to, and I imagine it's very different to what you were used to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've been told, like, you know, if you love New Orleans, they'll love you back. That's a famous quote from Drew Brees, and the more times pass, the more I've really started to like it now. Obviously, it's unique, like it's like its own country in America. I feel, with the culture of, you know, you go down to French Quarter, you go into the city. It's just a completely different culture with, you know, with the music and the, you know, and the food as well. I mean, I'm still not around the seafood side of things, but
what have you been eating then? Tell us what you've been eating.
I just really, you know, steak and chicken, and, you know, you're just. I suppose a big culture of fried chicken here, so maybe I'll treat myself to it the odd time. But yeah, no, I suppose I'm staying away from the seafood side of things. I mean, I tried the crawfish and I was like, you know, put on a brave face for it, but it wasn't my cup of tea now. But yeah, I mean, no, I'm really enjoying the city now. But at the same time, most of the time you're really just in here, because you're in here, you know, most of the time, and then obviously, you know, you'd be tired after, you know, being here all day, so you just normally, you know, chill at your apartment or stuff. But I've got over into the North Shore a few times as well now, and especially now that I'm driving and stuff. So yeah, it's just, yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying it now. The culture and the weather's starting to get better now as well, I suppose. It's not as hot now, so.
It's humid though, right?
Yes, it's humid, but it's still not as, I mean, if you were here in April, May, June, July, well, I suppose we weren't here in July, but I mean, it was hot. Like, I mean, you step outside, the worst part of the day was getting out of your car to come into the building, because you start sweating already, like. But yeah, I mean, that's the way it is here, I suppose.
I've just got a couple of questions on kicking, because I'm slightly obsessed by kicking.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like the game is changing, like, from a kicker's point of view. You touched on, like, sort of the flashy stuff. Yeah. But it feels like 50, 55 is not flashy anymore. How aware of that side of the game are you?
I suppose, well, you know, like, you see, whenever you see a 50 plus in a game, it feels like it's a big kick. You know, it's like, oh, a 50 plus. You know, I kind of perk up with the TV and stuff. You know, but then when you're kicking these 50, you know, like, distance doesn't even come into it. Like, so it kind of feels like, you know, 57, and then you don't really even have to think about distance. Like, so. But that's just the standard of kicking now. Everybody's got a big leg, you know. The way, like, the younger kickers, especially, of coming into the league, it's just, you know, the power is just that these guys are producing. Like Brandon Aubrey, for example, is just insane, you know. So really, yeah, I mean, I mean, it's just, again, the focus is 50 and in, but you know, as you said, you're obsessed with, I'm obsessed with kicking. Like, I analyse every single kicker, you know, to the tee, like. So it's Do
you think as well, like you mentioned Brandon Aubrey, like, there's a lot of people coming to kicking in particular from different sports, and you've obviously got, like, a huge leg from the sport that you've played all your life. Like, do you feel like that's indicative of where the NFL is now in terms of broadening its horizons? I feel like it's definitely, the kicking positions are definitely the easiest to integrate from, because we don't have to learn the playbooks and stuff. Like, really, the only two things you have to focus on are, you know, I get the call, you know, kick it right, kick it middle, kick it left. Okay, so that's really it for me. And then obviously there's a few things that you need to know from a special team standpoint, but then obviously in the field goal it's pretty bread and butter, focusing on your craft and
let Zach and Matt do the operation, make sure it's a good snap and hold, and then I trust them. So I really just think about getting the ball through the post really, and just what I can control. So I don't have to think about the motions that the offense are doing. So that's why it's the easiest positions for other athletes to integrate into.
Charlie, we've seen Ross Bolger playing college football at Idaho. Andy Quinn has just committed to Boston College from NFL Academy out of Ireland.
Yeah.
What message would you give to guys in Ireland playing Gaelic football that are thinking of following the same path, and have you spoken to any that have maybe asked you, is it worth it, is the risk worth taking?
Yeah, the first thing I would say to anybody, like, it's a huge commitment to leave your old sport. Like Gaelic games means a lot to Irish people, rugby means a lot to whoever the rugby lads playing, but you really have to ask yourself, how much do you want it, because it's a huge sacrifice being away from home and stuff, and being away from your family and friends. So, but at the same time, it's extremely rewarding. Like, you're getting to play in front of these huge crowds, especially for the lads going into the college game. Obviously, I haven't got to that stage yet, but I mean, if you want it, you really have to go after it and commit to it fully 100%. And it is doable, because a lot of people in Ireland are able to kick like the lads you mentioned there. Yeah. So I mean, you just have to ask how much do you want to sacrifice. And if you want it enough, then go after it. But don't start doing it if you're not going to commit to it fully.